This time, though, it's a little bit different. We're going to be talking about a little bit of finance topics today, right? We're going to be talking about a finance topic. And this is something that's very important because a lot of young folks out there, and even some, middle-aged, some older folks, they still don't get this, right? What I'm talking about is delaying gratification. What is that exactly? You get your paycheck, right? You're all happy, you're dancing to the bank. Man, I just got my paycheck, right? Cash it in, or maybe it's a direct deposit, but just play along with me here. Act like it's a paycheck, right? Got your paycheck, boom, 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 go, cash it, cha-ching, got dollars, right? You're happy, you're excited. Well, what do? Did you go buy drinks at the bar? Did you go buy that piece of clothing that you wanted? Did you buy something that you wanted? What do you do with your money? Now, the average person lives paycheck to paycheck. Why is that? Why are people living paycheck to paycheck? Maybe you don't make enough money. I'm not talking about that. That's a whole nother video about how you can improve your financial situation. I'm talking about the people that have money coming in and still aren't saving, still aren't investing, and aren't using it wisely because they're giving themselves immediate gratification on things. The biggest offender of this is usually a car. I'm sure you guys have friends or family members out there that drive cars that are way out of their reach, and a third of their take-home pay goes towards a car. In my opinion, that is just ridiculous. But why do people do that? Why are people spending a third of their take-home pay on a car? Well, because you like a nice car, right? It's that simple. I get it. Everybody likes nice stuff, all right? But what I'm talking about is the idea of living below your means. And by living below your means, you're going to accomplish one major thing. And that's a sense of security. That, all right, lose my job. All right, that sucks. Lose my girl. Now I got to pay for the rent, or I got to pay for the mortgage all by myself. That sucks. If you're living below your means, these types of situations aren't going to seem nearly as drastic to you if you're living below your means. Versus if you're on the other side of the fence and you're sitting there, you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're living beyond your means, which is the worst if you're using credit card debt to live, right? That's the worst, because now you're just complicating your life even further. Again, whole nother video on the credit card utilization and credit. But delaying gratification is very important. And I myself learned this at a very young age. All right, I'm going to give you two examples, right? They're kind of the same example though, but for the video here, I'm going to give you two. When I was young, I always wanted video games. We didn't have a lot. I did not come from a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of money growing up, so getting a new video game was very exciting. I'm sure a lot of you out there that resonates with you. When you got a new video game, man, you were psyched, right? Well, maybe I got a game on my birthday. Maybe I got a game on Christmas. But other than that, they were pretty damn hard to come by. So every year when I would go to my family events and I would get my Christmas cards from my grandma, my grandpa, my uncle, my aunt, I would save that money. I would keep it in one of those little tip folio gimmicks that you see at restaurants where you put your credit card in when they come to the table. I would keep all of my money in there. And I was kind of weird about it, man. I used to take the money out. I used to iron it with a little iron just because I loved it so much. And I would stack it up and I would save it. I'm talking like 7, 8 years old I was doing this. All right. And I'm not saying that to be boastful. I'm just saying that because I knew, even at a young age, if I were to go out, buy a game right away, or just go spend it, then it's gone. Then I can't buy that big thing that I really want, right? So what I would do is I would save, and then buy something really big that I liked. So I can't remember what I bought when I was a kid. It was probably just video games. This first big thing that I ever bought for myself, video games, that's what I loved as a kid, was a PlayStation Portable. All right, I was in 7th grade when the PSP came out. There was a huge game console. I don't know if any of you guys out there remember that. That was huge when that dropped. I had walk dogs. I lived in a little condo complex, and I used to walk dogs to try to get some extra cash. I think it was like $10 a week or something like that. I would save all that money. Saved it all up. And I ended up saving up $300 some odd dollars or so, which is basically what the PSP had cost at the time when it came out. And I bought that PSP on my own. I worked for it, and I bought it. When I did that, that little device was so important to me because I worked for it and I got something that I really wanted. Okay? And I saved, delayed, and I bought something really big that I liked. Now that I'm older, I still apply those same principles to the way I manage my finances. Very rarely do I ever make a big purchase. And it's not because I don't have the money, it's because I would rather use that money to create more money with it. Okay, do you see the distinction there? Take the money, buy stuff, that just is going to depreciate, let's call it what it is, outside of a handful of asset classes out there, but for the most part, you're going to buy something, stuff, that's going to depreciate. Once you exchange that dollar for stuff, you don't have that dollar anymore. Your buying power drops, and now you're just left with stuff. All right? That you're going to accumulate as you go through life. You're always going to need new stuff. And after a while, you realize the novelty of buying some of these things. Maybe it's a new phone. Maybe it's a new car. Maybe it's whatever it is for you. The novelty of buying something wears off. And the sooner you can realize that, the sooner you can escape that consumeristic trap that most people find themselves in, constantly striving to get that dopamine hit of something new, and then the novelty wears off, and now you're searching again, right? It's almost like a drug in a way, where you get high, then the high wears off, and then you want to get high again, right? It's almost the same thing. So when it comes to delaying gratification, I'm talking about being able to save money, use that money to make more money with it, rather than buy stuff, all right? So rather than buy that new car, maybe buy a cheaper car, take that money and invest it elsewhere. Maybe it's the stock market, maybe it's cryptocurrency, maybe it's starting a business. Whatever it is going to be different for all of us, right? But the more responsible you are with managing your money, the better off you're going to be in the long run. And I'm going to do another video on this topic, but don't buy something just to show somebody else up, keeping up with the Joneses, that whole effect, right? Don't do that. It's retarded, it's ridiculous. Don't try to live your life to impress other people. Nobody cares. It's only you that cares. And maybe you think other people do, but they don't. All right, so trash that. Delay your gratification. When you get something good, hold on to it. Use it to create more good things in your life. Before we sign off here, I'm going to share with you a quick story about what I did personally. In my early 20s, and I'm going to do a whole video on this. I had managed to accumulate a good amount of money by saving, not living beyond my means. And with that money, I then invested in the stock market. I invested in the cryptocurrency. And still to this day, that money that I made between 20 and 25 years old, I haven't spent a dime of it. I've leveraged that capital to create additional money for myself, which I still haven't touched. I still live far below my means, so that way I can have the freedom and I can relax on a daily basis knowing that no matter what happens, for the most part, I don't really have to worry about it. That feeling of not having to worry about that is so much more valuable than stuff, man. I can't stress this enough. So much more valuable. Knowing that if something were to happen to you, your job, your car, your house, whatever, you don't have to worry about that, man. You're not going to be in a situation where you don't have the money to eat. I've been there. I know what that's like. When I moved out of my mother's house when I was 19 years old, man, I was so broke. The first week when I moved out, I got robbed. Somebody stole my wallet while I was at the gym. I had no money for gas, no money for food. I had to steal food. It was a really bad time. I've been on both sides of the fence, so I completely get it. But all of these little lessons that I've been able to extract from my life thus far have told me that the further you can delay gratification, the better off you'll be in the long run. And that's not just me saying that. A lot of influential people out there have said that. If you guys watch Shark Tank, there's been a couple sharks that have said the exact same thing. And if you look at any entrepreneur that's successful, for the most part, you'll see that there's a constant reinvestment of capital back into the business. They're not taking profits for their own personal gain up until the point where the business is in a sustainable point to where they can afford to really do that. Okay? Stop spending money on stupid things. Save your money. Put that money to work for you so you don't have to do it yourself. There's a video that I was watching the other day by Grant Cardone. Hopefully you guys know who Uncle G is, right? I'm a big fan of his, watched a lot of his content. And he said something that was, very impactful to me. He pulls up in a Rolls Royce, right? I think it's like a Phantom or something like that. Really nice vehicle, right? $300,000 car, right? And he says, right, when he pulls up, how stupid this car is, right? And starts talking about how stupid the car is. And he says the only reason that he bought it is because the passive income that he generates from real estate covers the note on the car. Couple that with it being a business expense or whatever tax benefits he gets from it. But think about that. A guy that's driving the car could sit there and tell you how stupid the car is, but the only reason he got it was because he's not really paying for it. His passive income is paying for it. It's a different mindset, different way of looking at things. Recently, I actually just bought a really nice TV. All right. Did I need a new TV? Absolutely not. I had a 55-inch 1080p TV, had it for a long time. I just got an 85-inch TV. Completely unnecessary, stupid purchase. Stupid. I didn't pay for it. I didn't pay a dime for it. I bought that TV with a sign-on bonus from a credit card and saved up cash back. I did not come out of pocket a dime for that TV. All right, how was I able to do that? 1, having good credit. 2, saving that cash back. And then 3, buying something really big. Didn't cost me a dime. All right, you can apply that same principle to any investment medium that's going to bring you in additional income. Maybe it's not income, maybe it's additional capital that's reinvested in a particular holding. Doesn't matter. You're creating wealth, and that's the most important part. Delay your gratification, boys and girls. I want to see you live, prosper, and do great things. With that, I'm out.